losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me
Folks,
never in my life.
welcome back to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports, the realest sports podcast in the entire world. I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy LaParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Spade. It's been a big week in sports, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. Let me kick it off, man.
Go ahead, man. Do you?
For starters, it's kind of dear to my heart, but DeMarco Murray ended up signing with the Eagles, 5 years, $40 million, $21 million guaranteed. Man, this kind of hurts your boy heart, but I'm not mad at DeMarco for getting his money. Spade, how you feel about DeMarco going in the division to the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't know necessarily that was the best. See, it was rumored that the Raiders offered him a bigger contract. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if the key was that the Eagles gave him more guaranteed money. And if that's the case, then I get it. But if he turned down more money from the Raiders to go to the Eagles so he could play against the Cowboys, I don't think that's it. Because I don't think the Eagles, I don't know. I hope it works out for him. Either way, I don't blame the guy for going after his money because the Cowboys reportedly was only going to pay him like $5 million a year.
That's correct.
Telling you, man, it's
But,
tough being a running back in the NFL right now, man.
You took the words right out of my mouth. The running back position right now is not it no more. Man, if you're raising your kid to be a running back, that's not the move. You better be a quarterback, a cornerback, a corner, a defensive end, or a middle linebacker. I'm telling you, man, and a receiver. But you got to be a stud at receiver to get that money.
Or you can go trick the Dolphins. But hey, you know.
Word, you could go to the Dolphins because they giving out $16 million per.
They'll give you money down in Miami.
I mean, a lot of people tweeted me and was like, I know you mad about DeMarco. I'm really not mad about DeMarco because as an NFL, you got a short lifespan as an NFL running back. You take a pounding and then they don't respect you and don't want to pay you your money. So I understand why DeMarco left. I would have preferred him to stay, but I'm not mad at him. Hopefully, as a Cowboy fan, we could pick up some other pieces. We did pick up McFadden. I'm not really a McFadden fan. It's showing proved that every year in the league, every year that he's been in the league, he's been injured. Every year. So I'm not looking forward to McFadden being on the Cowboys. But as far as DeMarco, I'm not mad at him. I'm glad he got paid. He deserves to get paid. Congrats to DeMarco. I'm not mad at you, homie. Get your guap. Get your money.
Well, let me switch it up a little bit. I want to go somewhere different. Since we're talking about the Cowboys, to me it makes sense to go here. So, reports come out of Dallas that the Cowboys may, I'm saying may, so I don't want y'all to attack me and say they would never do that. But the reports out of Dallas said that the Cowboys may draft Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon. To me, that would be the dumbest thing ever. How do you feel about that?
I disagree. I don't think it's dumb. Because let me tell you something. It's talent over need. We do need a running back, but it's definitely talent over need. When these GMs and owners are in these big rooms, in these draft rooms, and talking about who they could potentially draft, these teams put guys on the board. And if they think other guys aren't going to be there, and they see these two stud running backs, I'm doing a quote fingers here, potential studs, running backs coming out of the draft, Gordon and Gurley. And if they there for our first two picks and they got them high enough on the draft board, why not take them? They there. Why not?
That would be crazy, bro. Look, so you trying to tell me Dallas only has one need, and that's at running back? Y'all Gucci at every other position?
No.
Okay, so why would you stockpile one position? For one, if you know that you're interested in drafting a running back, and this, by my opinion, is a running back heavy draft, why even bring over Darren McFadden? Why? So you bring over Darren McFadden.
They paid McFadden like $4 million. They didn't pay him a lot.
That's $4 million you can keep. You clearly don't believe in him if you're going to draft two running backs. That's a bargain,
bro.
That's not a bargain for somebody that's sitting on the bench doing nothing.
For a veteran running back, $4 million ain't a bargain?
How veteran is he if he's never completed a season?
That's why they paid him $4 million.
That's why they should have left him alone. And then you're talking about drafting Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon. For one, Todd Gurley, when healthy, I think he's an amazing running back. How healthy is he? We don't know. He wouldn't even let people scope his knee at the combine. We don't even know if he's healthy.
And that's why you draft Melvin. That's why you draft Melvin.
And then
Gordon.
that's why you don't draft Todd Gurley, and that's why you don't bring over Darren McFadden. And this type of thought process is why the Cowboys can't get right. Why keep bringing over damaged goods?
Wrong, Spade. The same thing happened. The same thing happened to what's the name when he was at Miami? Who just hurt his knee at Miami? And then McGahee hurt his knee in Miami.
I'm gonna tell you the difference.
And he got.
I'm going to tell you the difference.
You said you don't see the difference?
I'm going to tell you the difference. The difference is Willis McGahee and his agent held a press conference to allow you to see all the progress in his knee. He ran, he lift weights, he allowed him to scope his knee. It was no hidden cards in that card game. He came out there with the cards face up.
Spade. Gurley didn't say he wasn't going to do it. He said he didn't do it at the combine.
But
he didn't say he wasn't going to do it before the draft.
My point is, why get both? What can one of them do that the other one can't do? Why put all your eggs in one basket? They got other needs to address as well. They got other needs to address.
And they have other draft picks too.
That would be dumb. Dallas, that would be dumb.
I disagree. I disagree.
We can move forward. Dallas, that would be dumb. Let's move forward. That would be dumb.
And I disagree. Moving forward. Speaking of running backs, it's been a running back heavy show right here. Running backs on the move. Reggie Bush ended up going to the 49ers. And it kind of got me thinking, man, for Reggie Bush to be this immense talent that everybody was, souped up about Reggie Bush coming out of college, it got me to thinking, is Reggie Bush a bust? He was the number 2 pick in the draft behind Mario Williams. And I was like, man, I think Reggie Bush is a bust. I think Reggie Bush should be considered a bust. I want to get your thoughts on that, Spade.
I don't know. A bust, I think that's a little unfair to call him a bust. Is he going to go down in NFL history as, well, I mean, to me, he contributed more than Mario Williams, who was the number 1 draft pick. Mario's the bust to me.
I don't know, Spade. Mario done been to some Pro Bowls, man.
Yeah, well, you know how that goes. You get enough people to say they hurt, they don't want to play. All kinds of people can get in the Pro Bowl. So I don't know. I feel like Reggie Bush definitely injuries has held this guy back. I mean, when healthy, he's proved what he could do. To me, he looked best in Miami. That's not fan me talking. That's stat boy me talking. Like in Miami, he was 1,000 yards rush. He was there for 2 seasons. Had almost 1,100 yards his first year in Miami and just shy of 1,000 his second year. So you can say he averaged 1,000 yards a season. One of those years, he averaged like 5 yards a carry. He was a threat receiving out of the backfield. When healthy, he can contribute to any team. His issue is definitely going to be injuries. But since we're talking running backs, you just got through talking about Darren McFadden, who was once upon a time compared to Adrian Peterson in college. Like, Darren McFadden was it. I can remember the game in college when he dove in the end zone and dislocated his shoulder. He hurt himself diving in the end zone. So, I mean, there's guys who's hurt more than Reggie Bush. And I get what you're saying about him being the number 2 pick. But I think a bust, I think saying a bust would be a little unfair for my liking. I don't think he's a bust. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys think, though. So tweet us, put it in the comment section, man. Is Reggie Bush a bust to be a number 2 overall draft pick?
I mean, I think being a number 2 pick, you are expected, especially at the running back position, you are expected to be more than a 3rd down back. I mean, Reggie Bush, he used to be a kick returner. I don't know if he's even that anymore because they scared that he's going to get hurt. Like, so Reggie Bush, to me, he's more of a 3rd down back, or more of, a guy that, you do screens to, you line him up at wide receiver. And I think, you was talking about his stats with the Dolphins. I think his best years, in my opinion, was with the Saints. They moved him around crazy. He didn't have to carry the load for 1,000 yards rushing. He had 500 yards receiving. He had 500 yards rushing. You know what I mean? He did a lot of things. He did kick return, punt return. To me, I liked how the Saints used him. I don't think Reggie Bush can tote the rock to get 1,000 yards rushing every year for a number 2 pick in the draft.
So let me ask you this. At number 2 in the draft, can you just be great at some things? Can you be a specialty player? Or you feel like at number 2 in the draft, you got to be able to do it all?
I think at number 2 in the draft, you are drafting a guy that high that you are expecting to be amazing. Amazing. when you my opinion on the draft, and we probably could talk about this on a later date. If you're a top 10, top 15 pick, you are expected to be great. You are expected to be a game-changing great. And to me, Reggie Bush was just all right, man. I don't think he was worthy of the number 2 pick. And this right here, not only just Reggie Bush. Let me not kick Reggie Bush back in because I like Reggie Bush. But this right here may stop running backs from being drafted high moving on in the future. It may never be another running back drafted high in the first round ever again. Ever.
It may not be, but in Reggie Bush's defense, let me say this and then we'll move forward because I tend to I talk a lot. At least that's what the parents tell me. But in Reggie Bush's defense, he was part of a 2-headed monster at USC. So if you would take Reggie Bush out of that system and think that, okay, he's going to carry the ball all these times, first, second, third down in the NFL, you would be dumb. I mean, Lindale White, wasn't that his name, Lindale White? The big guy? The kind of big running back. Yeah. He went to Tennessee. He was a bust as well. He was really a bust. But they had the 2-headed monster out at USC. So, I mean, he was never that guy. Even when he was great at USC, he was never the tote the ball every down type of back. So, if you was drafting that guy, expecting that, then that was poor drafting. But let's move forward, bro. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins, man. The Miami Dolphins just recently traded wide receiver Mike Wallace to the Minnesota Vikings. I've said this in previous episodes, so I'll say it again. Sometimes in sports, you see a trade that's just great for everybody. Minnesota, you got the young quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. I love this kid. I like his game. Yeah. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world, but he does have a bigger arm than Ryan Tannehill, and maybe he could get some use out of Mike Wallace. I don't think Mike Wallace is a bad talent. I think you can't just draft players and expect them to fit in your scheme all the time. Ryan Tannehill doesn't have a big arm at all. At all. Yeah. Mike Wallace doesn't run routes at all. All Mike Wallace want to do is run straight and run straight fast. And Tannehill couldn't even use that to his advantage or to the advantage of the Dolphins. So his contract was huge. The Dolphins gave him like $60 million. Something like 27, 28 million guaranteed. And Dolphin fans just ended up hating Mike Wallace because we couldn't use him. He just wasn't good for us. So I think it works out good for everybody. How you feel about that?
You know, I like what the Dolphins is doing. First of all, they getting sued. They cutting, they shedding the fat. No pun intended to sue, but they shedding the fat. They getting some of that high money off the books. They ended up cutting Starks as well. We talked about Starks. I thought suing Starks would have been, you know, pretty good in the middle, but they ended up cutting Starks. They done got rid of Mike Wallace. They picked up Kenny Steele.
Oh, that's true.
Like the Dolphins are definitely making some moves to try, you know, to be a problem over there in the AFC East, which you know, we pretty much said on the Wednesday show. If you guys didn't check that out, you need to check that out. That the AFC East, you know, they are looking like the free agent winners right now with the moves that they've been making in that division.
They making moves like fantasy owners over there, man.
For real, like I'm right now. I'm liking what the Dolphins is doing. I think getting rid of Mike Wallace, who's a little older, getting a young Kenny Steele. I think they definitely got better. I would say they got better because to me, I think Kenny Steele right now compared to Mike Wallace right now is a better wide receiver in my opinion. So I like what the Dolphins is doing.
Love it.
Can't complain about that. But moving on, we're gonna switch the topics a little bit. We've been talking NFL. There's been a lot of NFL news going on. So I want to talk about some NBA news.
All right.
Spade. It got me to thinking. All this stuff going on with NBA is, you know, we got Coach Popovich. He always, and it's been working for the Spurs, but now a lot of teams have been adopting this scheme. And the scheme I'm talking about is NBA teams resting their starters. So my question to you, Spade, is should the NBA do something about teams resting their starters? You have these fans that are coming to the game, spending hundreds of dollars for parking and tickets to come see these stars playing. And NBA teams are like, you know what? We're going to give Steph Curry and them the night off. We're going to give Klay Thompson the night off. You know, for a long time, it's only been the Spurs using that. But now a lot of people have adopted this trend. What do you think about it?
That's a really good point, man. While you was talking, I was just about ready to defend it until you spoke on the amount of money's paid by the fans. Like you said, parking, seats, concessions. Lo and behold, you go and buy that expensive ass, big ass finger that they waving.
For real.
Yeah, man. I think it's an issue. And I hate to play the age card. People always hate when you refer back to your generation. But with that being said, in my generation, if MJ wasn't hurt, MJ was in the game, and he was in the game going 100 miles per hour.
True.
That's just the way it was. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I know these players suffer injuries here and there. And I don't even know if I want to call them injuries, but they get hurt. Like, I've always been told you can play when you're hurt. You can't play when you're injured. I know these players get hurt from time to time, but ultimately, I mean, I just worked a couple days at my job with a slightly sprained or strained back, one of them, and I make pennies. These guys make millions of dollars. Some of this stuff they can play through. And these players, I mean, these fans, you know, you pay this big money to go see your favorite players, and you get there and they in a suit. I would be tight. So, yeah, I definitely think it needs to be controlled. At some point. I don't know how you would fix it though.
I guess the way first of all, I really hate it when there's on like national televised games. Like I said, Pop been doing this forever. But now, you know, with the Atlanta Hawks having a coach from the Popovich tree, they adapted it. Now it looks like Steve Kerr adapted it. A lot of people are like, you know what? Just get the day off. And then, like, in parentheses, it's just saying rest. It ain't saying flu, it ain't saying illness, it ain't saying ankle, back, neck, nothing. It's just saying rest. Come on, man. These fans deserve better, especially, and you know what? I don't even want to talk about national televised games. If I say, and then we can move on, Spade. Let me make this point, then we can move on. Say, you know, you work hard, I work hard. You don't have, we don't have money to have season tickets at these games. Say you get a 3-game package. You like, okay, I'm going to get a Hawks game to play, you know, see them play the Warriors, the Heat, not the Heat, Cavs, and let's just say another good team in the West, let's just say the Clippers. In those 3 games, let's say
why not the Heat? Hold up. Why you take the Heat out the package?
Cheeks, because Wade always hurt. That's why. You ain't getting Heat tickets to see Wade. So, you know, you see those guys, and you got the Hawks, they sit their guys, and the Warriors sit their guys, and now you're just watching these backups. You only get to see these 3 games, and now the starters is out. So you done spent about $300-400 for these 3 games, and you don't even get to see the players you paid to see. That is a ripoff. They ain't giving you half your money back if half the team ain't playing. Come on, NBA. I don't have the fix, but something must be done.
They used to fine Popovich for doing it, right? It seemed like
they did.
Some games they would fine him and some games they wouldn't. So I don't know. Maybe you fine him if it's a national televised game and you don't if it's not. I don't know. Before I move forward, and we are going to move forward, I just want to say a lot of people that watch and listen to the show, you guys got jobs. Pick up the phone, call your boss and say, hey, yo, I ain't going to be in today.
I need some rest. Yeah.
Put the phone down and let me know how that go for you. Tell them you need rest.
Yeah.
See how that go. But all right, let's move forward, man.
All right,
Recently, Phil Jackson came out and said that free agency, not the NBA draft, is what it takes to rebuild a team, and free agency is what he'll use to rebuild the Knicks. Do you buy this as a real strategy, or is Phil trying to buy some time for those Knicks that look like crap out there? Which one is it?
I actually think he piggybacking off Pat Riley, because Pat Riley came out and said this first, and now Phil kind of co-signed it. So I think he's just saying that because Pat Riley said, I don't know. And you know what? I love Phil Jackson. Y'all already know I'm a Bulls fan. I love Phil Jackson. I like Phil Jackson better as a coach. I don't know. I'm not feeling Phil Jackson as the GM. I'm not feeling Phil Jackson the GM because when you're great at something, and Phil Jackson is you would agree with me that he's a great coach, right?
Not really. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Then I'm going in.
Okay. Okay. So, but in my opinion, Phil Jackson is a great coach, and when you're great at something, to try and transition into something else and be great at that, it's kind of. I think Phil Jackson should have been the head coach and let the GM, let the Knicks hire a GM and let that GM do GM work. I just think Phil Jackson is confused. He's piggybacking off what Pat Riley said, and I don't think Phil Jackson know what the hell he doing. I don't know what the hell he doing.
My turn?
Yeah, you can go.
All right, so check this out. You said you like Phil Jackson as a coach.
Yeah, I do.
Not so much as a GM.
Yeah.
What I'm willing to say is, I think you like Phil Jackson when he got the most dominant player in the league on his roster. That's what you like. Even as a GM, if he had the most dominant player in the league on his roster, I think he looked pretty good.
Well, yeah, look at all the success he had.
He ain't the most dominant player in the league,
He's the most dominant offensive player in the league.
No, the hell he ain't. And don't ever say that on this show.
Who you gonna say, KD?
Sir. Man, KD, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, James Harden, all these guys can score more efficiently. Anyway, I got my pen. I'm doing my presidential campaign. I'm pointing in the camera. Don't interrupt me, sir.
Go ahead,
For all the success that Phil Jackson has had, he's had with the most dominant player currently in the league at that time. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bean Bryant. So
other coaches had those guys and didn't win.
Who?
Other coaches.
Who else had MJ?
Shaq and them. What you mean? Doug Collins had MJ. What are you talking about? Who else had him?
Collins had
MJ.
Man, get out of here.
Doug Collins had MJ. Here, bro.
When he had MJ, was MJ the most dominant player in the league?
MJ was MJ when Doug Collins had him. What are you talking about?
No, he wasn't that MJ. No, he wasn't.
Gosh. Now we're going to argue about which MJ. You asked me would anybody else have MJ. Doug Collins had him and didn't win.
I did ask you that, but then I corrected myself. What I said was Phil had these guys when they were currently the most dominant players in the league. So it wouldn't matter who else coached them because players do this. You know, you got a starting point, you peak, and then you decline. At that peak, Phil Jackson had all those guys at their peaks. All right, but let's move forward, man. You know, you like Phil. I'm not here to tell you that the tooth fairy is not real. Just keep putting your tooth up under the pillow. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a fairy come in your window and leave $1. That sounds realistic. But, yo, let's talk about the pick'em game for this week, man. We're going to do something different, right?
Since I won last week. Yeah, since I'm a gloat. I'm a gloat.
Also had one bad game of the year, and it will be on that night.
That's right. That's right. But since I won, we're going to change things up. The pick'em game is going to be a little different this week. We're going to talk about the pick'em game this week is the battle of who won the most lottery balls. So if we have the New York Knicks on March 20th taking on the Philadelphia 76ers, Spade, who do you think will lose in here the
talking
game?
About these two teams.
Who do I think is going to lose?
Yeah. I think the Knicks will lose. Give me the Knicks. The Knicks are dedicated to being awful.
Okay.
They take being awful seriously, and they will find a way to lose. Knicks, don't let me down. Phil, don't let me down, Phil.
I'm going to take the Philadelphia 76ers because in typical Philly fashion, they're probably going to be up big and then choke it away in the third, fourth quarter, and they will get the loss. So in the comment section, let me know who do you think will lose the pick'em game this week on March 20th. It will be the Knicks versus the 76ers. I don't know if it matters to you guys because there's really no home court advantage in any of this crap, especially in this game. The 76ers, right? The 76ers are playing at home. So let me know in the comment section who do you think will lose this game. And Spade, we can move on to the strong arm performer, man.
All right, let's do it.
So you want me to go first with my performer first?
Yeah, because I'm going to do something a little special with mine. So you go ahead.
Here we go. All right, so my strong arm performer of the week got to go to my Jersey boy, Kyrie Irving, who had 57 points. And y'all already know 57. That's my number. He had 57 points. He shot 20 of 32. He had 4 steals, 5 rebounds, and shot 7 of 7 from deep. Come on, Kyrie. And a big win over the San Antonio Spurs. So for that,
it was huge.
For that, Kyrie, you are my strong arm performer of the week. Shout out to Kyrie.
That was an amazing game from Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, man. Kyrie went ham.
He hit a big 3 at the end of regulation to send it to overtime.
That's right.
It was ice cold in overtime, man. Yeah, big game by Kyrie and the Cavs. Big game.
Yes, sir.
I want to do something different with mine. We talk strong arm performer. Usually we talk stats because that's what it's based on. But I got to thinking, strong arm, you can strong arm a lot of situations. So this week I want to give my strong arm performer of the week to Miami Dolphins tight end Jordan Cameron. Hold on. I know what y'all thinking. The football season is not even in. How could he be the performer of the week? You guys, if you follow Strong Arm Sports on Twitter, or maybe if you follow some of the big sports reporters like, I don't know, give me some.
Adam
I can't even think of them right now. Adam
Josina
Scheffler.
Anderson. You know what I mean? Guys like that.
Everybody, right?
Talk.
All these people, thank you. All these people was tweeting Jordan Cameron was visiting the Dolphins. We was all, Dolphin fans was all happy. Mm-hmm. In a moment, we don't know what happened. It said Jordan Cameron re-signs with the Browns.
Yeah.
And we was like, dang, what happened?
Yeah.
And then right after that, Jordan Cameron signs with the Dolphins. Well, let me tell you guys what happened. This was crazy. Jordan Cameron visited with the Dolphins. Like the Dolphins liked Jordan Cameron. They made him an offer. Okay. Now, if you know anything about this guy, you know in the last 3 seasons, he had a concussion. He's had 3 concussions in the last 3 seasons. That's a big concern at tight end. Your tight end has to go over the middle and catch passes. He's going to get the hell knocked out of him. You want a sturdy, strong tight end. So whatever the offer the Dolphins made Jordan Cameron, maybe he didn't like it too much. So what he did was he actually went back to make a deal with the Browns. That was real. He didn't lie to y'all. But he didn't sign it. They said moments after he got the deal, 3 big sources, Adam Scheffler and 2 others, tweeted at the same time, basically simultaneously, that he was back. And they also had the details of the deal. That means it had to come from somebody in the camp, either Jordan Cameron himself or his agent. More likely, his agent. So right after that, Jordan Cameron gets on the phone, call the Dolphins and say, okay, I got this offer. Can you beat it? This is the offer. I'm looking at it. I'm about to sign it. Can you beat it? And he strong-armed the Dolphins into making him a better deal, and he signed with the Dolphins. And that is crazy to me. That is some definite strong-arm stuff right there. And for that, Jordan, you are my strong-arm performer of the week, and you better not get a concussion this year. I want you to be as strong-arm in these 16 games of the regular season, bro, and the playoffs if we go. So that's all I got for my strong-arm performer of the week. That was crazy, right, bro?
Yeah, yo, I was just about to say, the Dolphins are notorious for paying guys more. Jordan Cameron better go out there and ball out. He better not he better not go out there and make them regret it. But I mean,
and if he don't play good, he's got a future. He's got a future as a negotiator or an agent or something. That was some clever stuff. Or maybe it was his agent's idea, but whoever came up with it, that was pretty damn clever.
Genius to get some more millies on top of millies. It was genius. But Spade, it's been an amazing show, bro. You know what I mean? We want, as usual, we want you guys to, write your comments down there. We appreciate when you guys showing love. If you new, as usual, bang the subscribe button. If you're a regular here, bang the like button. Also, go over there to our YouTube page, Strong Arm Sports, over there. You know what I mean? You guys been showing mad love. You guys have been banging the subscribe button, banging the like button over there. Continue to do that. Share it with your friends. Share it with your uncles. Share it with your aunts if they sport fans. Just share it with everybody, man. We definitely appreciate all you guys showing all that love, man. It's been an amazing show. Oh, you
got some more news for him, though, right?
Oh, yes. The podcast is in full effect. Probably, I don't want to put a date on it, but probably by next week. All we need right now is just the logo. You're gonna get the logo up, and you guys will be able to download the podcast off iTunes. I'm just waiting for approval from iTunes. Once that go through, you guys will have it on your phones. You'll be able to listen to it. You ain't got to see our mug shots. You will be able to just listen to our voice on your phones and wherever you at, on the computer, wherever. It won't matter. And once that's up, we will let you guys know to bang the subscribe button over there on iTunes. And I know a lot of you guys, I'm not sure if Android users can use iTunes on their phones. I doubt it.
But we got y'all covered too.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a podcast on SoundCloud. So you guys can download SoundCloud and you'll be able to check us out there as well. So we got some big things happening, man. Just stick with us.
Big things popping, man. We growing, dog.
For real, man. Big things is happening.
And we appreciate y'all.
Definitely. So we'll see you guys next episode. Continue to support, man. We appreciate y'all. See y'all next one. Peace.